Welcome.
Do you ever lick the microphone?
Never. I feel like that's a whole another breadbasket of Twitch entertainment that I try to stay away from.
Listen, man, people do crazy shit on Twitch. I wouldn't be surprised if you were just ASMR, like the licking of the microphone.
So I actually do like the popping outside. Like I'll mess around. Like I like to troll content that I feel like is kind of shit.
Oh, you're a troll? I love it.
No. I mean, not really. It's more of like it's comedy, right? It's like the.
I love comedy. I've heard of it. Oh my God, is that your mouth?
Strap in, ladies and germs, because today we've got a superstar in the house. Someone who has left an incredible mark in the world of entertainment. It's actress, entertainer, and gamer, Alanna Masterson. Hailing from Long Island, New York, Alanna's acting career took off with appearances in popular TV series such as The Young and the Restless, Malcolm in the Middle, and Greek. However, it was in 2013 that she seized the spotlight, landing her shining role as Tara Chambler in The Walking Dead. Beyond the blood, guts, and gore and zombie lore, Alanna is a mother to a lovely daughter named Marlo. She's an avid gamer, having streamed Call of Duty a couple of years, and don't worry, we'll ask her why the hell she did that. Just kidding, but seriously, Call of Duty? Come on, Fortnite in this house. You can catch Alanna at fan cons, comic cons, or anywhere you bash up zombies. Alanna, welcome to the show.
You could be a Foley artist.
Let's go. Sign me up.
Have you ever watched those Foley videos?
I haven't. Wait, how do you spell it?
I'm gonna send it to you. I think it's Foley. Foley, like recording.
Foley.
They're fucking amazing.
Oh.
Like how they make certain sounds of like somebody walking or frying an egg or whatever it is. And there's like this woman who does it in California, and she like posted a video of her and her kid doing it. And it's fucking incredible. Like the things that you would think are like, okay, you're going to punch somebody in the face, you drop a sandbag. But then she comes up with all these things that are not that. And like Foley recording artists are incredible. You would love it.
Yes. So I see an image of someone like, you're recreating sounds for movies and stuff like that. So I've seen a video on TikTok. This went viral a couple of years ago. It was the video of, again, this Foley artist, and she is I want to say it was a woman. She's the #1 snow, like Foley artist, like footsteps in snow. Like there's no one better.
Yeah. Like, and does she put like tortilla chips and a rat and records the rat like running? You know what I'm saying? Like the stuff they come up with is so insane.
So this one was just like, this one's probably not as intense as the stuff that you're referring to, in the sense that she makes snow footstep noises so well.
You got to send it to me.
I have to hold up. I'm not even kidding you real quick.
You don't have to do it right now if you don't want to.
Oh, no. I mean, I want to see if I can, because I feel like snow.
She did a really gross one of two people making out and the sound that she was using in Foley was a banana. And once you see it, you can never eat a banana again.
I already can't eat bananas. They're like, I'm like a huge like gag reflex person when it comes to certain foods.
With texture? Are you that way with scallops?
No. So scallops, I can have a fried scallop.
Yeah.
So, well, like I'll mess with a good scallop. I'll fuck with a good scallop. Like my wife, she loves scallops.
Sure.
I'll fuck with a scallop.
Cameron, don't put that online.
Put it on, dude. Put it on. Let's go, man. As long as the scallops, it's been cooked and it's good to go. Who's to say, don't play with your food?
Yeah, it's true. Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Alanna.
Nice to meet you, Alanna.
We're just sitting here talking about all the stuff.
Tyler, this is how my favorite podcasts start.
Yeah, talking about scallops.
Talking about literally the first thing that pops up into your head, and we just go on this riff.
I love a good old conversation with an old friend.
An old friend, and you know what? A new friend now. Think about that. Yes.
Spoiler alert for anybody who is so behind on the times. I got my head chopped off on my show, And this little kid came up to me at one of these conventions, and he was, maybe like 12, 13. He's like, "Oh my God, Alanna, I love your character. You're so funny," but whatever, like telling me all of this stuff. He was so sweet. And I was like, "Yeah, man, well, it sucks. My head got chopped off." And his face, he was like, "What?
Oh no.
What do you mean?" And he like, his eyes started to water. And I like looked at his parents and I was like, "How do I get out of this? How do I backpedal? How do I, you know what I'm saying?" I was like, "Oh no, what's happening?" I was like, and then I looked at his parents. I was like, "You brought him to a convention?" I died, 4 years ago or right before COVID. And my head got chopped off. Like, you don't precursor that with telling your child. And then the kid comes up and it was like I told him there was no Santa Claus.
No, that's terrible.
Yeah,
oh my God.
I mean,
wow. Talk about spoiler alerts. I mean, but you're 4 years?
4 years ago, I got my head chopped off.
No, you know what I mean? No, come on now. Like for me, I have like a gauge. I have like a thing like in the back of my head as a streamer, right? Like it's very important. You have to like, what is the etiquette of spoiler, right?
Right.
Like let's go for the classic, one of the most crazy things you could spoil back in the day, Bruce Willis being dead. Right.
Yes.
In Sixth Sense. That was like the meme spoil. Like, dude, I haven't seen that movie. I was going to see it. It's like how many years go by, or months for that matter, like go by before it becomes like, do you just not have to worry about spoiling
the appropriate timing?
Yeah. I mean, like for me, it's like, especially with The Walking Dead, I would even say 6 months.
Yeah, 6 months.
Maybe even less. Because
I remember.
You guys were hot. No, The Walking Dead was like it, right? It was like the show. And everyone was like, no one was waiting to catch up on it, right? Despite like during the first 7 years, everyone was just diving into it and binge watching it. So even that makes it even more so like, how the heck does this kid not know yet?
Yeah, I mean, that was the same sort of, I would say the same realm as like The Usual Suspects with Who is Kaiser Sose. And I remember saying to my brother, like, "Don't give me a spoiler alert." He's like, "Dude, that movie came out X amount of time ago." Because I was like a teenager or something. And I was like, "Yeah." Well, he's like, "You don't get that much time. You get like a year. You get like 6 months."
I like 6 months. Because that's on you. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's like, if you really want to, there are things 100%. There are things where it's like, dude, if you really, really care about it this much, like take the time to watch the movie. Otherwise,
100%.
Don't be mad if somebody spoils it.
What is a big thing in your life that was a spoiler besides Santa that you remember discovering and being upset about?
Oh my God, this is a great question. Is this your podcast? Oh my God, this question.
Sorry,
amazing.
no, I really like to get to
this.
know people, and I love to ask really weird, interesting questions. And
I'm obsessed with this
all
question
the time. Like I'll do it at dinner. I'll come up with like the weirdest question. So you have to answer that.
Okay, so I think this is a testament to how much I had an absolutely out of this world childhood, because I feel like nothing in terms of like the magic before my eyes was ever spoiled or ruined.
Wow.
I'm not kidding. The first thing the first thing that comes into my mind is when I was streaming, and I think like somebody saw the midnight release like in China or some shit where they saw it before everyone. And they typed like Obi-Wan Kenobi dies or something like that. Or Han Solo. Yeah. So when that movie came out where Han Solo dies, it was like before it even released publicly. And I looked over and I saw it and I was like, and it was only that. It was literally, that was the only line of like that he typed in the message. And I was just
what a monster.
I had this pit in my stomach because I was going to see it literally in like a couple of hours.
Yeah.
I had this pit in my stomach. I'm like, that felt real. Like that felt like it wasn't a troll, right? Because some people were just like, "Oh, the Jedi all die," and it's like, okay, whatever. You can just read that and be like, nah. But I read that, and I was like,
cool thing is to find the trolls, like the deep internet trolls who do stuff like that. Drive to their house.
Yes.
Show up, knock on like I think about this all the time, where people are, comment some, stupid thing on my Instagram or whatever. I'm like, I would love to just go to their house, knock on their door and be like, "Hey, what's up? Hey, what's up? How are you doing?"
Is that it?
Well, that and maybe punch somebody in the face, but it really depends. Because usually you would disarm them so much by standing in front of them and being like, "Hey, I'm a human. How are you?"
I used to, when I was a kid, I was like 13, 12 years old. I was playing Halo 2 online. Xbox Live had just come out.
I got to tell you a funny Halo story when you're done.
I'm literally ready for it. So I would get standby, and I was the most competitive person in the world, right? Like my rank was everything to me, and I would be playing, like I'm about to rank up. Like you can check how close you were to ranking up on Bungie.net. Like I was doing all that shit, And I was about to say whatever. End of the day, I would get standbyed or modded. And I shit you not, I would fantasize in school, like when I was just fucking zoning out in class, teleporting behind them as they were standbying me and
just sticky bomb them?
And then beating them over the head with a bat.
Yeah. Or
I'm not kidding.
What was that sword that would light up in Halo?
Just the energy sword.
Yeah, the energy sword that I haven't played in so long.
No, it's okay.
I think you should get one of those and go up behind them and energy sword them like right in the back.
I literally
laugh and run away.
And then not, just enough to almost they need hospital attention. And then at the end on my way out before I teleport back to my gaming setup, just destroy their router and monitor.
Yeah, so you just set their computer on fire in there.
Exactly.
Everything.
Literally. So it's so funny that.
Amazing.
Okay, tell me your Halo story before we move on from that.
It's really not that interesting. But when I was a teenager, my brother's house, he had 3 TVs set up. So one downstairs, one upstairs, and one in like the guest room and that was when you could do 4 people on one console, right?
Yeah. You could split screen.
And 12 of us would play. And we would just rotate rooms and we'd be screaming at the top of our lungs. And it became this thing. It was like either running charades night or Halo night. And then I would go to bed dreaming of like running up and like doing a sticky bomb on somebody. And it was I couldn't sleep. I was having nightmares. I obviously just stopped playing, but it was such a fun moment in time when we did play. And that was when it was just Xbox, I think. I remember those days playing that game and always loved it. Like that sort of game I always loved playing. And then obviously years later, in COVID, my brother was like, hey, I'm playing Call of Duty. You want to play with me? I was like, sure. And then got totally addicted to that. And it's just funny how those games like really stick with you forever.
I did the exact same thing growing up. And like we never had 12 people on 3 different Xboxes. We had
I could lend you some friends if you want.
Okay.
I can send them to you.
We eventually got there, but early on.
Friends? You eventually made friends?
Yeah, well, I got lucky. I was blessed to have a bunch of all of the neighborhood parents had kids my age, exactly like my age.
It's amazing.
And then my brother's age too. So it was very easy to make friends because we lived right next to each other.
Oh my God, that's so nice.
We did lands and stuff
All-American
like that.
home.
It was the church. Hey, I'm telling you right now, they don't. It's almost impossible to do this anymore, right?
No,
I don't talk to my neighbors. Exactly.
No chance.
Exactly. So I lived in the era of go outside, play with the neighbors, play, Who's Afraid of the Dark, frickin', cops and robbers, and then wait for the whistle to come home because dinner's ready.
Mine was when you really could, we would be playing baseball or kickball and it would be so dark, but there would still be a little bit of light that you could see. And then you knew when it was actually pitch black and you couldn't see the ball in front of you, it was time to go home.
Yeah, time to go home.
I think about the things that I did as a kid and how I survived them and didn't get kidnapped or I used to ride a 50 dirt bike without a helmet from my friend's garage, 6 blocks to the local high school and ride around on dirt bikes with my friends with no parents. I was 10.
Yeah, I get, just simpler times, really.
Could we go back to before the internet?
Take me there.
Internet? Take me there. What was your AIM chat name?
Soccer Burn 13.
Soccer Burn 13, and you haven't seen the Beckham documentary?
No, I haven't. I was a huge soccer player growing up for the first 18 years of my life, and then I just, painfully addicted to video games and streaming.
Soccer Burn. Mine was Little Pink Forever, but the number 4 was a number 4.
Wow.
It's pretty hard, right?
Edgy.
Yeah,
edgy.
I was tough on the streets. You know what I mean? Nobody fucked with me. They're
oh my,
it's Little Pink Forever rolling into middle school.
No way. Was your the color pink too? Your username? Probably. And then
it would be AOL
really
dial-up.
emo. Yeah, really emo messages, OA
it would
messages.
Be the used lyrics.
Yes.
And then it would be and then if I was really upset, I'd be a from first to last lyric.
No.
It was just so the dichotomy of my 2 personalities as a teenager was pretty fucking funny.
That's fucking incredible. I was, the classic. Oh my God, that's incredible. Well, let's actually talk about one of the things that I literally have on here. You just mentioned the emo bands. Those are some of my favorite. Those two that you just listed. We were
Yep.
both just at When We Were Young festival.
Oh my God.
Talk
So
to
I
me.
didn't know this. Nick told me. He was like, oh yeah, he was just there. I was like, I was just there. I was literally in Las Vegas I was there for 12 hours maybe. Did you go the whole weekend? Did you go both nights?
I messed up bad. I did not go both.
You fucked up.
I was there early and I don't know why.
The Ataris?
No. I didn't. I didn't go to any like concerts or anything like that. On Thursday, I pretty much just gambled. I watched Thursday Night Football with my brother, gambled a bit, and then passed out. Friday, I had a golf tournament with my buddy and his friends. The Saturday, so I went last year. I don't know if you went last year.
I did. I thought last year was canceled because of wind.
They just pushed one of the days back.
Oh, they did. Okay. Or one of the, so I didn't go last year. I thought the lineup last year was better than the lineup this year.
Oh, my girl. We have a lot to talk about.
This year's lineup, I was like, meh, womp, womp.
This year's lineup was, listen, like Blink 182. Yes. Something corporate. Amazing. And then like Motion City soundtrack, The Academy is like, I was like, all right, like these are some solid bands. But last year, was it Taking Back Sunday?
Yes.
All American Rejects, Alkaline Trio. Like,
also wasn't it, I mean, this is going way back, but didn't Under Oath play? Didn't Seosin play?
Yeah, Seosin was there. Under Oath was there. They played a couple, like, it was
this year was
Hawthorne Heights, I think, too. Played as well. It was unbelievable.
I know. I completely agree with you.
Like, they oversold. Yep. So you weren't there last year. They oversold. We were packed like sardines. I paid, we paid, ungodly amounts of money to gain access to the, whatever they're called, the cabanas, to have like a cabana. And thank God we did, because last year we were up there one time. It was to eat and then go right back down and like get to the next stage. This year it was like we were up there for like 3 or 4 hours, maybe more, because there was just like no room. It was so crowded. We couldn't get from stage to stage. It was disgusting.
Did you go to like Warped Tour as a teenager?
I never went to Warped Tour because I was a loser virgin that played video games.
Oh, you're a virgin who can't drive.
Listen, I can drive. And let me tell you, I made the best CDs still. Okay, like the burn CDs.
Of course.
Oh my God. I was a LimeWire god.
Stickers. You'd be downloading on your parents' computer and you're like, I think there's a bug. I downloaded
something, and then luckily I had a neighbor who could fix computers, which was like, and at that day and age was like a fucking miracle. So shout out to Mr. Schneider, you're a legend. But
Mr. Schneider, thank you.
Yeah,
we
Mr.
all
Schneider,
thank you now.
We do.
I felt sort of the same way. I was only there for a short period of time. I was really excited to go. Last year, didn't end up going, didn't even think about it this year. And then one of my best friends texted me. She's like, hey, do you want to come with me to the We Are Young thing? And I was like, oh yeah, amazing. And then the night before I looked at the lineup, I was like,
wow.
Don't really
So
care
you didn't
about
even
seeing like Jared Leto in a like cape flying across the stage. Nothing against 30 Seconds to Mars or him. I just was like, where are all the bands that I grew up listening to and
when we were young?
When we were young, not when we were old.
It's not when we were old
festival.
I have one more thing.
Everybody was very old.
Yes. And but I love that. The energy of everyone there, even the artists, is always incredible. Like that's always a vibe. But like I had one of my biggest things that I hated, so you weren't there. Were you there for Yellow Card's performance or no?
Yellow Card played at the same time that my friend's band was playing. It was at like 6:05 or something. Because I was really sad because I actually really like Yellow Card. Yeah, I did too. I mean, they killed it. However, they did this thing, and this happened a lot last year too. These bands, and again, I love them. I love their music. There was a huge part of like how we grew up. But like they're playing new music. They're playing new songs. Play the fucking hits, man. Shut up and play the hits.
Literally, like I want to go up on stage and smack the shit out of them and be like, stop. Like it's literally the name of this festival is When We Were Young. Why the fuck are you playing your new music? Anyways, I was a little upset, and it's unfortunate. What games do you play when you gamble? Blackjack or poker? You're like inside my head right now. I tend to do that. My brother plays poker. Okay. I also dabble in poker a little bit, but I have two Achilles heels. It's blackjack and the craps table. You do have two. You were born with two, so it turns out. I know. You still have two of them. I still have two of them. It's blackjack and it's craps. Craps, yeah.
I just
What
taught
about
my
you?
kid. I play poker. I just taught my kid how to play Texas Hold'em.
Oh my
She's
God.
8 years old, and I don't know if that's
Get that poker face started young.
I'm like, yo, I'm gonna get the phone call from her school. It's like, so your daughter has started a gambling ring.
Yeah. She's
And
hustling
she is
under the bleachers at recess.
fully. She's in second grade, and this kid. I mean, I have to take her to Vegas when she's 21. She straight face, ideal, I give her two, give me two. I put, the three down, face up. And she's looking, she's like, I think I'll bet. She puts forward, we play with like 4 quarters, 2 dimes, and a nickel and a couple pennies. She's like, all right, I'm going to put a nickel forward. The straight face. I was like, all right. I mean, I don't give a shit. I'll play for a nickel. I put a nickel forward.
It's just a fucking nickel.
It's just a nickel. Flip over the 4th card. And she's like, 50 cents. And I'm like,
wow.
Is she trying to push me out of this pot? Like, does she know what she's doing? Right. So I was like, all right, call, put 50 cents in. The river card comes. She's looking at me. She's like, all right, I'll bet 75 cents. She pushes in 75. I now have a straight. Ace 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 2 10s and there's 2 10s, a 3, and a 4, and I have a something or whatever. And we flip over the cards, and she's smiling. And I'm like, do you have a full house? And she's like, yeah, read them and weep, Mom. She has a full house. I have a straight. She beats me. And she's been grounded ever since.
Grounded ever since. I mean, first off, that's the only appropriate response, I think, after getting played like that.
It's crazy. She beats me in every game. I swear to God, I hope she becomes a card counter and wins us millions, and then we can retire in the Bahamas or something.
That sounds great. That actually sounds great. It's all about, like, card counting. I imagine it's all about just being strategic and planning, right? Like hitting multiple casinos in one foul swoop and then getting out each time before, you become suspicious and are put on a list, right? Nothing crazy, right? You win like a couple, 20 grand, 50 grand here, go to another one, boom, 50, 20, boom. And there's plenty of casinos. You can definitely do it at all of them once.
Yeah,
and then,
I think I'm going to teach you how to be a criminal.
There it is. Listen.
Why not?
All right, well, let's reel it in. First off, counting cards is not illegal. It is frowned upon. We all know that.
I knew that. I knew there was something I was doing right.
So, but the Texas Hold'em as well, not gambling. Although it is considered, some people do consider it as gambling. It is hands down, for those who are listening and actually don't know, Texas Hold'em is arguably one of the most skillful of the card games out there when you're playing, because you're playing against other people. You're not playing against the house, right? And the house always wins.
Always wins.
Of course, there's a degree of luck to it, but I recommend looking up some awesome Texas Hold'em videos. They're really fun to watch, and I love that you and your daughter have that bond already. You guys are playing like card games, board games, things like that. Like I did that all the time growing up, like with my parents as well, and my grandparents. I don't know how I turned out the way I did. I also didn't have screen time really until I was like 6 or 7 either, and it wasn't a tablet, which in my opinion is almost more egregious than a monitor. Because you can only, I feel like it's just so mindless when you're on the tablet. Like if I'm playing like Skyrim or a Star Wars game, like there's like beauty in it almost. You know what I mean? Like there's also a storyline and there's things going on and your like critical thinking is going on. Like you're not just sitting there playing freaking enter a game that is just mindless, right? That people have their kids play on tablets. Like I'm thinking
and the other thing too is like I don't say it to be like something that I don't like that parents do is like, oh, my kid eats only blah and they've never had sugar and they're not on a tablet. I don't say it to be an asshole. Like my kid doesn't have a tablet. I just generally observe how she does when she's on an iPad and it's not great. So I go, okay, cool. I had Saturday morning cartoons growing up and I also had TGIF. Besides that, it was like we were playing outside. We were doing board games. So with her, I just don't have a tablet because I observe that like she's a little bit more cranky or frustrated or those things. And on the tablet, kind of what you're saying, at least in a gaming perspective, something interesting is happening. Like you said, cognitive thinking, you're learning how to problem solve and all of that stuff. Like a tablet, you're just kind of scrolling. There's like the Fruit Ninja game. Like a fruit flies.
That's exactly what I was at. That's what I'm thinking.
You know what I mean? You like swipe it with your finger. You're like, cool. My
Candy
kid's
Crush,
getting dumber by
Candy
the
Crush,
minute.
Angry Bird, right?
Angry Birds.
For sure.
Yeah,
No,
for sure.
yeah,
So
I love that.
I would rather have her do something where she's sort of having to problem solve.
This is okay. So I love this. I kind of want to stay on this for a little bit longer because it's very interesting to me.
Sure.
And you're also amazing. Are you a gentle parenter or
No.
is it a little bit? Yes.
Definitely not. I mean, I would say I'm a little bit.
I think that there's something behind
it. The term is definitely not gentle parenting for me in particular.
I think that there is, yeah.
I would say I'm like a middle gentle parenter. Like
that's perfect.
Mildly harsh parenting. Like I really believe in discipline and structure. I don't believe in, hurting your kid or,
of course,
that sort of stuff. But I'm definitely like, I told you once, you do it again, we're leaving. They do it again. You pick them up from where they are and you drive home and that's it. Like I am not a negotiator and there's boundaries that I set with my kid that she knows. Like if I look at her and I say, hey, Marlo, she just stops whatever it is that she's doing because the biggest piece of advice that I had gotten as a parent was always follow through with your threats.
Yes.
And, if I give her a warning, hey, if you, grab that toy out of that kid's hand again, after I've told you to share twice, we're actually just going to leave the play date. Kid does it again. And I go, okay, time to go, Marlo. And kicking and screaming or upset or whatever it is, it doesn't really matter. We're just getting in the car and we're leaving. So I'm not necessarily a gentle parent in that way, but I am gentle in the sense of I really listen to Marlo when she's upset. Even if it's a totally asinine thing that she's saying, I listen. Oh my God. And then my bow and the thing, and she's crying. I hear it all the way to the end and I go, totally. Okay, what are we going to do about it? Yep. Or I understand you're upset. That's life. Or whatever the thing is. I don't solve her problems for her at all. So I'm not necessarily gentle in that regard.
I'm obsessed with everything that you just said. And I feel like when my wife and I were talking about it right now and things like that. Yeah. And like, with everything you just said, I'm absolutely right there. When it comes to the gentle parenting movement, I love the idea behind it, which is like, let your like big emotions, right? Like, absolutely. Triggered. Yes. Is this true? Listen, letting your children, and I'm not a parent, but like, I think my parents did a great job with this and I watch my brothers do, like, your kids are going to feel those big emotions sometimes. For sure. and let them do that. But like, there's a level of, okay, my child is having a meltdown and needs to feel these feelings. And okay, I'm just being disrespected, right? Like
100%.
And again, I think it's one of those things where people are just like, oh, I have to let my child feel what he's feeling. And they're only letting their child do what they're feeling. And then essentially just letting them walk all over them with no repercussions. Oh, yeah. Like, it's
like I have a friend when her kid is being an asshole, she hugs the kid and is like, I'm here. You're safe. This is a safe space. You're here. I'm like, kid, get the fuck in your room. Let me know when you're done. And I'm happy to talk to you about it. I have no issues, but I can't talk to a screaming kid. You're not even home. So I love you. Right? That's the gentle parenting. I love you. I'm here for you no matter what, but you actually can't speak to me that way. So let me know when you're done and I'll talk to you. And it works every single time because I don't feed into her thing. Like kids are pushing boundaries. They don't have enough experience in life yet to be aware of like, oh, I shouldn't act like this. They don't have no idea. Know. So it's like, for me, I just go, hey, I hear you. I know you're freaking out. Let me know when you're done. And I just go about whatever I'm doing, the dishes, whatever the thing is that I'm focusing on. And every little bit I'll check in. I'll say, are you done yet? No. Like freaking out. I go, okay, cool. Let me know when you're done. Because I'm not going to talk to a crazy person.
God, that's such a great analogy.
It's true. It's like, why are you going to try and get through to a kid who's not even home?
Let them feel. I mean, I remember, now that I think about it, you're like unlocking memories. I remember sometimes, even when I was like a teenager, like early teenager years, like 11, 12, 13, 14. I remember literally just being sent to my room, unconsolable, right? Unconsolable. Same. And then just kind of fuming and angry. And I'm sitting there and I got the window open and the fan on and I'm like walking around and pacing around.
You're listening to emo music,
literally
on.
And then eventually, like literally just sitting there calming down. And then my parent would have like come in and like check in and you're just like, yeah, I'm good now. It's,
Totally. And another
yeah.
thing I say to Marlo at the end of it, right? So we've talked about it. She's said everything. Like later that night when we're going to sleep, I'll be like, hey, Marlo, you know, I love you just as much when you're freaking out and upset as when you're not. Like it doesn't, anything that you do isn't going to change how I feel towards you, but you cannot speak to me that way. I'm your mom and it's not okay to talk to me like that. And she'd be like, yeah, mom, okay, I understand. I said, but it doesn't change how I feel about you at all. Cause I remember wishing, and I mean, my mom is an incredible mom, but I remember wishing somebody being like, even at your ugliest moment, I'm here. It was just like, I'm a parent, you're grounded, or whatever the things were. And so when my mom would come in and be like, hey, like, I'm on your team, man. Like, what's going on? Those moments were always really important to me. So
That was amazing. That was absolutely incredible. I have to address the elephant in the room.
oh, I love elephants.
Love elephants. Okay, The Walking Dead.
I've heard of
My
it.
wife and I, Jessica, love her to death. We started our relationship and like we're like, hey, let's watch this. It's on Netflix. It was like 3 seasons in, and we ended up binge watching like the first 3 seasons in like 4 days straight.
So good.
Massive fan. Congratulations on that being a part of your life. I think it's one of those like
super cool.
I have met Chandler Riggs. I'm gonna start this off with this question. I've met Chandler Riggs. We're friends, acquaintances. We've hung out. We've had good times. I asked him this question the first time we met, and I have to ask you this question.
Sure.
You're in a zombie apocalypse. It's real. It's starting. It's starting 100%. It's not like, oh, it's a tweet. What's this? No, like it's actually happening.
It's imminent.
It's imminent. It's coming. What is the first thing you do? Like the same zombies, same everything. Like, so the slow, they're not like
Right,
World War Z zombies.
Yeah, the World War Z zombies, I think I would just off myself.
Same.
I'm like,
same.
nope, there's no way. I can't outrun you. I'm not Usain Bolt. Like, I think I'll just be here by myself. The World War Z zombies are really scary. Okay, normal zombies. I think what I would do is call one of my friends who has land with food. Because then you could be there eating.
Yeah.
If they have a well, you have water.
Yeah, you're just chilling.
I definitely would find a person who could live off the land.
So kind of like the farm situation, right? Before it got,
And what was it? The Last of Us? Did you watch The Last of Us?
I watched The Last of Us and I absolutely love that.
Okay, so that
scene.
I think it was episode 3. That like amazing gay couple in that town with the fence.
Yep.
What's his name? Nick Offerman?
Yes.
Oh God. Like that entire thing. That's what I would do, because I would find a person like that.
So believe it or not, I mean, you fly, I'm sure you fly all the time.
Oh,
and I don't, and for people who don't fly and people who only fly a little bit and like you sleep the whole time, I don't know if you guys look outside a lot when you're flying, but there is so much land in America that is completely vast and vacant with like nothing at all, like for miles.
I definitely know. I mean, I just flew, I think, I just flew my 1,000,000 miles on Delta, and I look out and you see wasteland. It is just so vast. And you're thinking, oh my God, you could build a farm there with a fence and food. But I don't really know how to garden. I mean, I kind of know how to garden. I could probably grow a pepper or two, maybe a potato. But like, I don't know how
potato.
Like one
That's
singular
the number one
potato.
thing. That's the number one thing. Like,
yes, just being self-sufficient.
Yes. So I think that so Chandler, I asked Chandler that question. He said he would go to the highest building near him and jump off immediately. Is the first thing he said.
God, that's so dark.
Yeah. He's like, no. After like being in it and all that, he's like, nope, not happening.
Definitely after filming it, that would for sure be the first response, even though obviously it's make-believe and the show is not real.
Correct.
It was so heavy and long hours and a billion degrees and everything. Like, we were really in the hardest television show, I think, of all time, maybe besides Game of Thrones when they were doing the winter stuff in Belfast. But we had 8 days to get the show done. And
Jesus.
we were doing 16, 17-hour days. Our turnarounds were crazy. Like, 2 seasons in, I was pregnant working, and I don't know, it was the temperature. I remember pulling a tick off the back of Chandler's neck in the middle of a scene as it was like about to start burrowing. I was like, Chandler, back up. Chandler, back up. And he like in the scene starts backing up towards me, and I fully pull a tick off of his neck. Like, it was just the craziest
Jesus
ever. So for me, I understand why he would say go onto a roof and jump off. Because it's
that's
just
insane.
sweaty and hot.
You were pregnant in the show, right? Too?
Yeah.
Like, you
well,
said
no, not on the show. I was secretly pregnant.
Right. Okay. For some reason, I thought that I'm literally mixing up pregnancy scenes because there's multiple babies that were born.
Yeah. No,
which is like the number one thing that would be like, dude, this is the last thing you need.
Yeah. What was it? The Quiet Place, right?
Yeah. Great movie.
Great movie. Where the first one was so much better than the second one, though.
Yeah. I liked this. Listen, I love good movies. Like, to me, a good movie is just like, you're into it, right? You're interested. Yes, the first one was miles better than the second one, but the second one, still legit. A
great zombie movie that I just watched recently was The Train to Busan. Did you see that one?
The Train to Busan. No, is it like a...
pronunciation of the name, but Busan, Busan.
What's it on?
It's amazing. It's a Japanese movie.
Oh my God. I love, by the way, Japanese movies are out of this world. Out of this world. Amazing.
And it's a zombie apocalypse on a train.
Is it like Netflix or something? Like Netflix?
Yeah, I just watched it.
Okay, I'm literally gonna watch after Thursday Night Football if Jess is still awake.
Where to watch?
You said Netflix, right? Tubi.
I've never been on Tubi. Paramount Plus. You can buy it on Apple TV, Redbox.
Okay, we have Paramount Plus.
Oh, Hulu.
We also have Hulu.
Amazon Prime.
We're all the pluses in Prime. Okay, so everywhere, literally everywhere.
Turns out, everywhere you can watch it. It's a Korean movie. That's right. It's a Korean movie. I saw it last year and I loved everything about it. It was so awesome. And there's one amazing scene where they shoot kind of in the rafters of the train, and they're over one of the characters' shoulders, and it's like flying forward, and the zombies are there, and they're attacking a baseball team. It's awesome. I think you would love it.
God. I mean, okay, I guess I'll end with this, and then we'll just kind of get into this or that.
Yeah.
Which is the final segment of this. What was your... God, just tell me, like, what was like the coolest thing that happened to you, like, on set and Walking Dead, or like, what was or like in general with life? What is the coolest thing that has happened because of it? Like, I don't know, just give me like a nugget. Give me like a little golden nugget.
God, there's so many amazing things that happened to me from that show, like lifelong friendships and experiences. I was so lucky to be a part of such a big sort of global phenomenon like that. Only really happens sort of like it's like lightning in a bottle a little bit. But absolutely. I would say one thing that was really cool about when I was there and I got the phone call that my head was going to get chopped off, I got to go and get my head cast, where they put the plaster on. And it really reminded me of Mrs. Doubtfire when Robin Williams is being turned into Mrs. Doubtfire and he puts his head in the pie. He's like, hello.
Yes.
So that was a pretty interesting experience. Your entire head is cast. You have two little holes they cut out two little holes for your nose, and it hardens like a cast, like when you break your arm. And so I remember sitting there and I was like, oh, this is how I'm going to die. Like, how I guess I could run into a wall to kind of crack the plaster. And I was like thinking of all these scenarios. I was like, this is the joke. This is how they're going to kill me in real life. They're going to leave me in here. But I don't think I'll ever get my head cast again. So that was a pretty incredible experience. And then the second part to that would be just all the traveling I get to do for all these cool conventions. I get to meet people from everywhere. I've been to Australia and Japan and all over Europe and to all of these incredible states. And from there, I get to always adventure around and eat great food and find the best restaurants. And I would say all of it is pretty wonderful.
Yeah. I love that you're seeing the light of traveling, like food, restaurants, culture.
It's my dream. Like anytime I have to go to one of these conventions, even if I'm in a place where I'm like, oh, I wonder if there's any really good restaurants in Middleville, Kentucky, or whatever. That's not a place, obviously. But
Yeah.
I find the place, I go alone, I bring a book, and I sit in a crowded restaurant by myself and I order like I'm like Kevin in Home Alone with the mac and cheese and the glass of milk.
Yeah.
And I'm there by myself having this like incredible meal and taking in sort of all of these people around me. And yeah, I would say the travel aspect of what the show has done in the, ends of the earth it's reached has been really cool.
Like eating dessert alone, like Steven Glansberg. Fucking
yes. Eating dessert alone.
All right. Well, that's amazing. And I absolutely love that. My favorite thing about traveling is gotta be the food for sure as well.
We're going to talk food next time. All we got to talk is food.
This is all I'm getting from this is that we need a second episode in the future.
A part 2.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's the dream, is having an episode that does so well and people are so excited about it. And there's so many natural and cool things to talk about that people are like, we haven't even scratched the surface on topics of things we can talk about.
We're going AFK with Ninja. What's he gonna say?
Oh my God. All right, Alanna, we are hopping into this or that. Call of Duty or Fortnite?
Ooh, Call of Duty.
All right, you're dead to me. Moving on.
And that's all we have for today.
Yep. Thank you guys for watching. Alanna, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
All right.
Turns out, Alanna, go fuck yourself. Okay.
All right. Early morning call time or night shoot?
Night shoot.
Oh, that's so cool. Filming a death scene or a love scene?
Death scene for sure. Love scenes are so awkward and there's nothing romantic about it.
Yeah, I've heard that so many times from so many different actors. That sucks. Yeah.
It's like, hey, could you put your hand over here? Could you do that? There's nothing. Yeah. There's no.
And then the cameras, and then when you're like,
at you.
Yep. And not to mention when you're like on the bed, the cameraman's like right on top, like covered, looking down.
His like weird hairy leg is like touching your elbow because that's the position the camera has to be to get your. I
can't unsee any love scene, by the way, ever. Like any romantic scene, all I'm thinking about since I've been in like some movies and commercials now, like the magic is completely fucking gone and removed.
You'll also see who doesn't like each other as co-stars based on that scene alone. You'll be like, oh God, they can't stand each other.
All right. Text read receipts on or off?
On.
Okay, we like that. Would you rather pay for everything?
On for certain people.
Okay, you can do that?
Yeah.
I thought it was just on or off, no matter what.
No. You can, if you go into your text, click on the person's name and it says on or off. So like it's on for my brother because then I troll him. I'm like, you read my fucking text. Answer me. And he's like, sorry. On or off.
That. Okay. Would you rather pay for everything in pennies or pogo stick is your only means of transportation?
Pay for everything in pennies. Pogo stick is exhausting.
Yes. There's that. That's the right answer. There's some of these have right answers. Cooking to recipe or winging it?
Winging it, except for baking. Baking's a science.
I hate that so much, and you're so right. I'm so bad at baking.
That's why I don't bake. Baking.
The last 3 times I've either left out like the baking soda, the baking powder, or the baking soda. I'm not kidding. Like one of the biggest ingredients to like make it what it is. I always forget it.
Yeah, baking sucks.
All right, date night out or date night in?
Oh. Date night out.
Ooh, you're the first person to say date night out.
Because out meaning activity.
Correct.
Like, bowling or mini golf or I go-karting. Like it has to be like a fun-filled activity. Food-wise, you can have it in or out.
Okay. All right, moving on to our other questions. We got about eight of these and we're all done skis. Right. What is your weapon of choice to take out a fucking zombie? I love this question.
Ooh, a hatchet.
So you're okay to get close?
Yeah.
See, for me, it would be like a massive, sharp spear.
Right, that's really, really long.
Like a lance. Yeah, that's really long. So that I can keep my distance if I miss. Like I can I still have like 2 or 3 seconds to adjust.
I would say a hatchet.
You're in there though. You missed that hatchet. Like
if the world's ending, I need a little bit of excitement.
Oh my God. So you're out here freaking craving adrenaline in an apocalyptic world. All right.
Listen, man, I live on the edge. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God. Okay. Favorite convention?
Oh, the Hollywood Con in Japan, in Tokyo.
Is that
It's
like a
called
yearly
Hollywood
thing?
Collectors Con. I don't think they do it anymore.
No.
But that was incredible. I've been to Japan twice for it. And Japan's like my favorite place in the whole entire world. So
I hear
was
that from
in one.
everybody.
Yep.
Have
you been?
Wife and I have to. No, my wife and I are trying to find a perfect time to go.
I'll send you all the things.
Please.
All the items you'll need.
Love that. You're the second person, I think, in a row, by the way, to like highly suggest going to Japan.
Yeah,
So,
you'll love it.
Perfect way to make a souffle.
In the oven?
I love that. That's as simple as it needs to be. I'm the type of guy who will order the souffle at dinner when everyone's ready to leave.
You're such a dick, and 30 minutes is added on to the
Yeah,
end
that'll
of the
be
meal.
fine. Sir, the souffle will take 45 minutes. You all have the souffle?
Like, absolutely. I'll have two. And by the way, I'll have
In
two.
that case-
But don't start the second one until after the first one's already been dropped at the table.
Because I want the second one to go and I want it to be fresh. Thank you. What is your favorite vacation spot?
Japan.
What is one game you can't wait to show and play with your daughter?
Street Fighter.
Fuck yeah. That's a great answer.
Teach her a
Any
little-
specific one or just like the genre?
Just the genre, like when I was a kid.
Okay. And my two favorite questions. Are you ready?
Oh, I couldn't. I've literally never. I'm on the edge of my seat.
I hope you actually are. All right. If you had to delete all but 3 apps from your phone, which ones would you keep?
Ways.
Ways,
Even though-
okay.
Even though I'm good with direction, but if I'm in a foreign country, I need to have to figure out how to get somewhere.
course.
Chess.com app.
Chess.com.
Yep. I play like 10 games a day. So
What's your like rating? Are you like above 1600, 1700? You don't have to answer if you don't want to.
Yeah. I'm pretty good. Yeah, I'm pretty good.
Okay.
I play a lot.
All right. And then the third?
Chess.com Ways, and then New York Times Cooking, the little red icon. I'm on that like every day.
Is it like, do they give you like daily like recipes to try?
Yeah,
and
it's
things
your
like that,
recipes,
or-
and then you can store your recipes, and you can type in like dinner for 2, vegetarian, whatever thing, because I love that.
Oh my God, that's so dope. Okay. So, wow.
I'm not huge on Instagram. I'm not huge on TikTok.
I don't
like
care about
things
those.
when
I
they're
usually-
entertaining, but I'm just like, if I couldn't live without, it'd be
no.
a food one, a chess one, and directions.
See, so for me, my food one would have been like an ordering one where I order the food, not
DoorDash.
Yeah. For me, DoorDash or Uber Eats or something like that. Okay, great. Those are amazing. Those are honestly some of the most unique that we've had, and I love that. All right, and then obviously the name of this podcast is AFK with Ninja. AFK stands for Away from Keyboard for those who don't know. Yes, but I want you to define AFK in your own words. What do you do when you're AFK?
When I'm AFK, it means that you cannot get a hold of me at all, unless you show up at my house.
All right, enough said.
Like, I don't even have my phone. It's like, knock on my door, and you're like,
Yeah,
I don't mind if you knock on my door.
You're completely out. It's like
Completely, I'm away from life.
so AFK is away.
AFL.
I love it so much. Alanna, thank you so much for taking the time to be
you're
here.
so welcome. Thank you for having me.
Oh my God. I wish it was longer, and I honestly had so much fun.
Me too, man.
And there you have it, folks. We've reached the end of another epic AFK with Ninja episode. If you've enjoyed the journey thus far, please consider leaving a rating, review, and hitting that follow button. We have a ton of incredible guests coming your way, and I want you to be the first to know when a new episode drops. Until next time, catch you soon.
It's AFK with Ninja.